think you're just being respectful. You think you're just making sure they don't get the wrong idea. But what you're actually doing is begging to be understood, begging to not be rejected, begging to be seen as good, kind, valid, anything but bad. This isn't clarity. It's panic. The moment someone misunderstands you, you rush in to fix it. Long texts, follow-ups, voice notes, apologies. You try to glue the image back together, but every time you do this, you lose a piece of yourself. You abandon your truth for approval. Carl Jung called it persona maintenance, keeping the mask on at all costs, because if they see who you really are, you're terrified they'll walk away. And that fear, it runs your life. You weren't born needing to explain yourself. You learned it in rooms where love was conditional, where approval was earned, not given. Maybe it was a parent who asked, "Why are you like this?" Or a teacher who said, "That's not how you're supposed to act." Or a partner who made you justify every emotion. Little by little, you learned one thing. Your truth isn't safe unless it's approved. So you became the explainer, the justifier, the fixer of misunderstanding before it even starts. Now, the moment someone raises an eyebrow, you flinch. You hear their silence as judgment. You explain, then re-explain, then explain the explanation, not because they need it, but because a younger version of you still believes, if they misunderstand me, I'll be left. And that fear still pulls your strings. Every time you explain yourself to feel safe, you reinforce the idea that you're unsafe, that you need permission to exist as you are. This isn't communication, it's performance, and you're performing for an audience that will never be satisfied. They don't want your truth, they want your compliance, your softness, your self-doubt, because it makes you easier to control. So you try to package your feelings, make them sound polite, logical, digestible. You try to be reasonable so no one gets upset. But here's the problem. Truth doesn't need to be reasonable. It just needs to be real, and when you abandon your truth for their comfort, you're not being nice, you're being invisible, and that invisibility, it's killing you. What if being misunderstood isn't a threat? What if it's a filter? The people who truly see you don't need paragraphs. They feel your energy. They trust your silence. They understand the pauses between your words. But the ones who demand constant clarification, they don't want to connect, they want to control, and you've been performing for them like your life depends on it. But here's the truth. Let them misunderstand you. Let them make assumptions. Let them twist your silence into whatever story they need. Because when you stop correcting their version of you, you start connecting with the real version of you, and that version doesn't know anyone, doesn't know anyone, doesn't know anyone. Over-explaining is emotional theater, and you've been on stage too long, apologizing for your tone, explaining your silence, clarifying emotions that weren't even wrong. It's not honesty, it's self-erasure. Every time you explain what didn't need explaining, you tell your nervous system, my truth isn't safe, my presence needs editing, my worth is negotiable. But it's not. You don't need to explain being tired. You don't need to explain not texting back. You don't need to explain your boundaries. You don't need to explain your silence. You just need to own it. Drop a comment below. What's one thing you've been explaining your whole life that you're ready to stop justifying? The truth doesn't need proof, just presence. You were trained to explain, but you were born to embody. You don't need permission to feel what you feel, to need what you need, to walk away without offering a 5-step rationale. That's not cold, that's clear. You're not rude for protecting your energy. You're not selfish for honoring your time. You're not too much for having boundaries. You've just been raised to believe that silence is guilt, that confidence is arrogance, that directness is danger. But those beliefs, they're not yours. They were planted, and it's time to unlearn them. Because the moment you stop asking, do they get me? And start asking, do I get me? You begin to come home. Next time someone misunderstands you, don't panic. Don't rush to fix their perception. Let it burn. Let them sit with their version of you. And you sit with yourself, not to defend, but to witness. Feel the discomfort, the urge to justify, the anxiety that says you need to explain or you'll be abandoned. And then, don't. Just don't. Let the silence hold you. Let the misunderstanding pass through. Let your nervous system learn. You won't die from being misjudged. Because every time you choose stillness over defense, you reclaim something deeper than approval. You reclaim your wholeness. You don't need to fight anymore, not to be seen, not to be understood, not to be approved. You are not here to be decoded. You are not here to be digested. You are not a syllabus. You are a soul. Some will misunderstand you forever. Let them. Some will twist your quiet into arrogance. Let them, because your silence is no longer self-doubt. It's not fear. It's not people-pleasing. It's power. The kind of power that comes from knowing, I am allowed to exist without explanation. And the moment you believe that, you are free, invisible to control, untouchable by guilt, unbothered by opinions. Your peace is not up for debate anymore, and neither are you.